Let the vengeance begin!
Howdy, howdy, ShadowOnline here, and welcome to Game 3 of Shadow Online Gaming's YouTuber tournament. I am playing the Lizardmen, I'm playing the Dwarfs against the Lizardmen, and, and I'm playing against the host, Shadow Online Gaming. Link to his channel in the description. Go see his channel, and definitely subscribe. So we're 1-on-1 going into this matchup, and this is sort of one of my strongest builds versus the Lizardmen. This is the same build that we've been playing recently. We have 5 Longbeards with 1 Chevron for the front line out here. Behind them for Red-Crested Skinks, we have 5 Miners with blasting charges, and if there is no Red-Crested Skinks, they will deal with skink cohorts. On the very back line, we have 3 Dwarf Warriors, 1 right with the artillery, just to kind of protect that back edge. And we were fortunate we pulled a map that actually has some terrain here to help defend our rear. We do have Ungram Iron Fist. He is naked, no abilities. For our range department, we do have a bolt thrower. We do have a gyrocopter with a brimstone gun. This is so useful getting around the map against the Lizardmen. And for the interior, we do have the Ultras Raiders, who are amazing in this matchup. We have 1 group of Rangers. We do have a group of Thunders and a group of Iron Drakes with Trollhammer torpedoes, and they are very specifically for Kroxigors, to really deal with Kroxigors and really big entities. For Shadow's army, no surprise, has some 5 groups of Red-Crested Skinks, and of course he does have the cohort of Sotek. They are very strong in this matchup. They have that refuse to die, and when they pop that for 20 seconds, no entities can die. They are unbreakable. They're a really strong group. He does have 2 skink cohorts out front. He does have the Star Chamber Guardian to get in there, and they actually are Temple Guards. They're really good armor piercing, though they got a bonus versus large, but they do have that physical resistance for their hero, and he does have a Saurus Old Blood, which is a very good choice in this matchup. It has a Horn of Kygar for plus 25 melee attack, plus 8 leadership, plus 18% charge bonus, and he's on foot. He does not need to be on anything big, to be perfectly honest. And for his magic, he has Lord Croak, however you want to say it. We know what Lord Croak can do to infantry. A very strong pick there. And for his cav, he has 2 units of Feral Cold Ones, and he does have the Umbral Tide, the Salamander Hunting Pack. Now these guys do a ton of armor piercing damage, but they are bonus versus large. They're good though. They can do some tons of damage. And also Vanguard deployed. And turns out the worst possible spot is the Colossedon Hunters, Ripperdactyls. These guys have armor piercing. They are a ton of damage. They have 60 melee attack, 56 charge bonus. You know, they can have 116 melee attack coming out of the air. That's absolutely crazy. But he's going to be right behind me, so I'm going to get this going. So I actually, for once in my life, I noticed a Vanguard deployed unit right behind me. So instantly I actually saw it, and I bring back all of my troops to start shooting at these guys. Really, he should have just got the heck out of dodge. He would have been able to actually defeat the gyrocopter, but in against all of this damage, like these Iron Drakes do so much damage, and now they're actually rampaging. Unfortunately, now they rampage into my Ultras Raiders, which isn't the best, so I'm going to still shoot. I'm going to try and get Ungram over here to get some shots in because they are large. I'm going to try and collapse with some of my units and get my Ultras Raiders out into a better position, but these guys are shattered, just like that. So really good quick catch. So now it's time to get the gyrocopter up. I still haven't looked at all his army because I really wanted to catch that. So I'm going to get the gyrocopter up to start to get some early damage. He's actually hiding in the forest here. You know, he's being patient. Like, this is a really strong play. You know, he lost a unit early, but he's just not charging in. He's being patient. I'm going to try and get a bombing run on these, I think the cohort of Sotek, because I know how good they are. And I do want to get some shots in, you know, just whatever I can. At this point, everything else here is pretty good. I sort of sorted these out good enough for me. And yeah, am I going to get a bombing run on these guys? Maybe. You can do it, Sioux Devil. Oh, missed him. Well, at least I tried. That's the key. So I've got some shots going into his leader, and he's going to come into this side, and I'm actually going to get my miners with blasting charges, getting off on them, and the Longbeards, and now the miners with blasting charges are just going to absolutely do what they need to do. You can see the blasting charges getting into the red-crested skinks, the skink cohorts. I'm charging in with the Longbeards. They're going to do a really great job here, and I want to get the rest of my blasting charges off. And he's actually got the shield of the old ones, and he's actually going to try and punch a hole through this area, sort of make a corridor here, and he's going to use that big ability from Lord Croak. We're going to see here, we got miners with blasting charges, Longbeards, I can't get them out of the way, it doesn't hurt his troops, and boom, look at that damage, that's absolutely insane. Now, I have routed the skink cohorts, and I do have the gyrocopter with brimstone guns on the Umbral Tide, and I am trying to get some more units onto that Umbral Tide. I really want to get that going, but you can see now this corridor here is opening up, if I can actually ever do it. Boom, and he's going to be able to start bringing through his troops. So now I'm going to have to collapse back in with my spare troops and do what I can. Now on this side of the map I have tons of space, so now I can actually just start wheeling around and bringing some troops right through the center. I can bring over my Iron Drakes. I still have my bolt thrower shooting at the Umbral Tide. You can see I'm putting a ton of damage on them. I just want to get them routing, and then I want to get after Lord Croak. And really, he has been able to make this a real serious mess. He does have Feral Cold Ones in here fighting, and they're beating down some of my units. I do have Ungrim, because Ungrim will kick the crap out of them, and we have been able to rout the Umbral Tide. Now, I just want to get a few more shots. I want to make sure they keep routing right in the center pocket. He does actually have some units coming back from rout, and he has a Star Chamber Guardian. He has his Lord here. He's beating up the miners with blasting charges. Really, I'm just trying to. Well, okay, I'm getting rid of these guys. I am going to switch over to Lord Croak at some point here. I do want to escort these guys off the gyrocopter. I'm in no rush to bring the gyrocopter back. Yeah, okay, so I have been able to get these Feral Cold Ones. And really, I'm looking at my line. My inner pocket is actually doing okay. It looks like quite a mess, but these games do tend to look a little bit messy. Lord Croak is coming in. I really want to get my shots on him. So now I focused everything on Croak, and I want to get Ungrim on Croak. And I'll start trying to spam click Ungrim to get over on Croak. I've got these Dwarf Warriors here. I've got these Dwarf Warriors here. They'll do fine against the King cohort. And I am now shooting against Croak. And, I've got those shots, and I'm just trying to get Ungrim over. I'm spam clicking. Now, this has turned into a bit of a pit fight, which is fine. I mean, so I've got Ungrim back over here. I really just want to get shot. So I really want to keep this a big mess. Now, I know he can use his shield over here, but everything else is doing fine. I can shoot him there. The red-crested skinks are in trouble. There goes the 44% magic resistance, and he's walked right through, so I can't actually catch him with Ungrim. So I thought, well, I'm going to actually get in there and try and shoot with the Iron Drakes, because the Iron Drakes, even though he has a lot of resistance, is still going to do damage. And I am spam clicking Ungrim to get in there, but you can see tons of damage still coming in. Like, this doesn't stop the damage altogether, but there, I got Lord Croak, I actually killed him, and now the rest of my units can actually go to work. I have actually chased these guys off the battlefield with my gyrocopters, and now I really can just collapse in with everything else onto his leader. And I still have been able to maintain a relatively good pocket here. I have these Dwarf Warriors. I have Dwarf Warriors here that are fighting the Star Chamber Guardian, and I have these guys up here, so that we've been able to maintain our firing line for most of the game. And now, once we start to get everything starting to rout, they go, and all that's left is that cohort of Sotek, the red-crested skinks that are unbreakable, and they all refuse to die. They have 0 health, and there's one model, which is fantastic. They're a really fun unit, really fun game. I talked to Shadow. He hadn't played a competitive game for a while, and one of the things you can always guarantee when you play Shadow Online Gaming is that he's going to bring something interesting. It's going to have a theme, and it's not going to be meta. And every time you play Shadow, it's always fun. Like every single game, win or lose. And this was a good case. And Shadow and I have some good games. Like we've got the 4 Chaos Demons. He's got download. There was download, and we have those on his channel. And we have a little set of games we played a long time ago. Like, so we have some really fun games on the channels. Maybe look back a year or two, search Shadow and Zoo Devil, and you're gonna find some fun games on the channel. But yeah, this build, I know the dwarf build. This might not be the perfect build, but it feels I feel like I know how to handle this army, and you know, these miners with blasting charges. You know, Ungram only got 10, but he did kick the crap out of some feral cold ones. We got 2, 16, 15, 26, and 28 with miners with blasting charges. Pretty solid. But it was we really routed the red crested skinks quickly. 70, 34, and 2 with the dwarf warriors. They were just the back line, the reinforcements. 11, 30, 36, 28, and 63 with the longbeards. They always perform in this matchup, and we got 2 free chevrons in that. 14 with the rangers. They didn't do a whole lot. They were on the side that was sort of inundated. 28 with the Thunders and a free chevron. 43 with the Iron Drakes and a free chevron. 17 with the Gyrocopters and 16 with the Bolt Thrower. So this Sour Soul Blood did fight to pretty much the bitter end. Got 26 kills. Lord Croak, 101 kills against the Dowie is nothing to sneeze at. 8 and 14 for the Skink cohorts. Actually, that's not bad totals. Considering their cost. 13, 89, 39, 41 for the Red Crested Skinks, and 42 for the cohort of Sotek, and 88 for the Star Chamber Guardians. Star Chamber Guardians are actually a really nice little unit. And 38 and 12 of the Feral Cold Ones. These guys performed extremely well. 38 kills with the Feral Cold Ones for a unit that's 450 gold is excellent. 20 kills with the Umbral Tide, but we did focus them, and only 2 with the Colossadon Hunters. And, you know, we picked them off right in the very beginning. You know, to be fair, you know, that's usually I don't see what's behind me. I mean, if you watch my channel, you've seen where I've had games where there's literally has been someone who's Vanguard deployed behind me, and I haven't seen them for 3 minutes. So I guess I am learning with having my coach or work boss help me out, and you know, I did see those guys right away, and I was able to pick them off and take them out of the game, which was really good. Otherwise, good fun game. This is the first time I've ever finished the round robin with a winning record, so that's really great. 2-1. I'm very happy about that. You know, I had a legitimate chance too to go 3-0. I mean, I was lucky with my pick against Professor Pond with the Lizardmen versus his vampire counts, but I did counter pick Turin's chaos with vampire counts. He just outplayed me, like, straight up. It wasn't enough to make up the skill gap. You know, that's because that's what I'm hoping. Like, he's a much better player than I am. Was hoping to make up the skill gap with a good pick, but just wasn't enough. And in this, you know, Shadow and I are kind of pretty evenly matched in terms of abilities, but this is my faction. I play the dwarves exclusively, or almost exclusively, and this is a build I've developed over 2.5 years, and so he's always going to have a hard time in that matchup. Though it was actually did pretty good considering. So, anyways, would love to hear from you in the comments down below. You know, what did you think of the round robin and my performance? You know, I shit the bed versus turn. I still feel it still irritates me. You know, I should have played better. I should have practiced more. I really let myself down. You know, and I did talk to our work boss about that. I mean, I know I could have played better, but I didn't practice hard enough, and it was a you know, I had the opportunity was there. I was just didn't work hard enough, and so, you know, I felt that I put in a lot more work for the Professor Pond's game because I didn't really know that matchup at all, and then obviously I know this matchup like the back of my hand and know it very well, and I played against many different Lizardmen armies, builds, and ideas, and you know, this army has been developed over time. I've played probably the best Lizardmen player in the world in Falcon, and you know, and played some very good Lizardmen players over the years, in particular the past 3 months. So, anyways, would love to hear from you. What do you think? You know, I always ask for comments because this is actually, it really is my favorite thing. I love comments. I love hearing from people. You know, I get great ideas in the comments. I get great advice. I get people saying, you know, I'm learning along with you, which I really love. I get, you know, people just dropping in to say hello. I really like that too. Like, I really do love comments. So just stop in and say hi. Other than that, I hope you found it interesting, and I will see you soon.